Welcome to another episode of Demonology. In the last segment, I discussed a priest who had been exorcising for 40 years, encountered Satan, and managed to uncover a secret from him. I introduced you to a branch of church teachings called Demonology, which is a very important and serious branch for Christians. It explains everything about demons, where they come from, their hierarchy, how they interact with humans, and even how you might summon Satan himself. Today, I want to show you a new branch of demonology based on the teachings of the Catholic Church, focusing on the hierarchy of demons. We'll explore who the most powerful demons are and how this hierarchy was formed. I'll explain their roles, abilities, names, and much more. So, if you're interested and want to learn about demonology, let's watch the video. It's important to note that most of these teachings are not directly taken from Jesus Christ. Instead, many of these beliefs come from others who lived before and after Jesus. These teachings and beliefs have spread so widely among people that the church now officially recognizes them. And what you hear these days are not the teachings of Jesus Christ himself. For example, King Solomon has been very influential in demonology. Solomon was the king of Israel and the son of King David, who lived before Christ, and is also mentioned in the Quran. The Quran states that Solomon not only had command over humans, but also demons, wind, and birds. According to the Torah, it is said that Solomon turned to idolatry at the end of his life, which I will explain in the next part. However, Solomon was the one who began summoning demons, and much of the information that is now officially recognized was obtained by Solomon during these summonings and are written in his book. In the end, while communicating with demons, he lost himself and his soul to Satan, which I will explain in the next video. There were also others who communicated with demons, such as Peter Binsfeld. During the time when witches were being burned, Peter claimed that they were possessed by demons. He collected their confessions and wrote them down. He introduced the 7 princes of hell, considered the 7 main demons. Of course, he was not the only one who spoke about these 7 demons. Others like King Solomon and many more provided this information, which exists to this day and is now officially recognized. These 7 demons are considered the most powerful in the hierarchy and have control over the other demons. Before you get to know these 7 demons, there's something else you should know. There are 7 deadly sins recognized in Christianity, which were not directly taught by Christ, but were introduced by several people after him. Eventually, a high-ranking priest who held the position of Pope Gregory, confirmed after Christ that these are the 7 principal sins. We have 7 principal sins, 7 main demons or princes of hell. As you know, the number 7 is significant and keeps repeating. We have 7 heavens, 7 demons, 7 sins, and each prince of hell is connected to one of the 7 deadly sins. They use these principal sins to control humans. The first demon is Lucifer, the angel who defied God's command and was cast out of heaven, creating a wave of other angels falling. Those angels who fell from heaven became demons, and Lucifer was the first angel to fall and become a demon. Lucifer represents the sin of pride, as he wanted to have heaven for himself and refused to bow to humans. The next prince is Leviathan. In the Bible, Leviathan is always described as a gigantic sea serpent living in the ocean, a very large dragon-like serpent that represents the sin of envy. It is said that Leviathan punishes those who are excessively envious in their lives. The large mouth of this sea serpent and the devil is said to be the gate of hell, which is said to be a mouth with terrifying teeth and fire inside, which is the mouth of Leviathan. The next devil is Satan, who is the fallen form of Lucifer. In the next part, I told you that the devil is divided into 3 different characters, one of which is Lucifer, who has a form that when he was in heaven and was an angel, and the other is the devil, which is a form that when he falls, his appearance completely changes. Lucifer shows himself as a very beautiful, attractive, and eloquent human being, and he was one of the most beautiful angels in heaven. The devil is the same shape that you imagine, a red, horned, winged, ugly creature whose job is to lead mankind towards sin and represents the sin of wrath. The next devil is Mammon. When Mammon was in heaven as an angel, he always looked down at the earth and the treasures on the earth, and his attention was always downwards, representing the sin of greed, which is to be too after earthly things like money, fame, and position, and no matter how much you get, you still want more. The next prince is named Beelzebub, who is called the god of insects because he himself looks like a bee, and when he comes in other forms, he has wings and can fly. Beelzebub, as I said in the previous part, is the third part of Lucifer's character. And what he does is try to lead people towards the devil and to commit sin. And the sin associated with him is the sin of greed, gluttony, and overeating. And the next and last prince of hell is named Asmodeus. Asmodeus has the chest and body of a man and the legs of a rooster and sometimes the poison of a goat with the tail of a dragon. He has 3 heads, one for human and the other 2 for animals. If he is described differently, they say that Asmodeus is the son of King David, and the reason he came out in this form is that his father was human and his mother was a devil. Asmodeus is in captivity by one of the main angels of heaven. Just as we have 7 main devils, we also have several main angels. Asmodeus is in captivity by an angel named Raphael. Raphael was someone who helped a girl named Sarah, because Asmodeus had fallen in love with Sarah and was torturing her and not letting Sarah have a relationship with any man, and he killed every man who came into her life. The last time this was about to happen, Raphael told Sarah to set fire to a goat's head. And when Asmodeus came to kill this man, the smell bothered him, and Raphael came and captured him. And they say Asmodeus is freed from captivity and goes to marry Lilith. Lilith is the most powerful and famous female devil, and her story is very strange and interesting, which is the story of Adam and Eve that they told us before Eve was Lilith, and what she does to be expelled from heaven and become the most powerful female devil. And Asmodeus is the sin of lust. What you need to understand about devils is that they operate like a military army, and each section has a boss, and the highest rank belongs to these 7 devils I mentioned. And after those 7, each devil rules over another devil. The first thing that devils are categorized by in these ranks is their job, and many of these devils' names are taken from the job they did in heaven. Olivier was an angel who had the main angels under his command, and they still know him by the same name even though he has become a devil and no longer has a place in heaven. And the second way you can categorize them is by rank, and their rank starts with the princes of hell. And these ranks continue until their rank comes down so much that they are responsible for bread in the kitchen. Then they are categorized by their rank, which determines what they did when they came to Earth and at what time. For example, there's a devil named Belial who is said to have established Italy, and it is said that he revealed himself at that time and founded Italy. Another way to categorize devils is through teachings that come from King Solomon, who introduced 4 of the commanders of the devils and said that 72 powerful devils work for these 4, each of the devil commanders associated with one of the 4 corners of the world. The north belongs to a devil named Zimanyar, about whom there is no information. The west belongs to a devil named Corson, about whom there is also no information available. The east belongs to a devil named Amemon, who is said to be the god of materialism and loves material, things like gold and jewels on earth. and the gap belongs to a devil from the south, who came as a generous man, giving money and helping others, but then he would ask for and take something bad from people and leave. Another way to look at demons is to see what they are after and how they behave. There are demons known as incubi and succubi. As I mentioned, Asmodeus had a human father, King David, and his mother was a demon, a succubus. Succubi come and tempt humans with lust, sleeping with them, and one way demons reproduce is by coming and having sex with humans. Now, King James, whom you probably know, is the one whose Bible, the King James Bible, is the most influential book in history. King James himself was a demonologist and firmly believed in demonology. He wrote a complete book on the subject, dividing demons into 4 categories in that book. He says specter demons are those that possess houses. There are demons called lover demons that stick to people, cause them trouble, and follow them everywhere. Possessing jinn are those that enter the body and possess humans, starting to harm them from within. And fairies are creatures that come into the world in human form and have various shapes, directly interacting with humans. What they do is take them to dangerous places, kidnap them, have sex with them, make deals with them, or other things. There was another person, a clergyman named Michael Psellis, who classified demons based on where they live. And he divides our world into 6 classes. The first class consists of demons that live on the moon. The second class consists of demons that live under the moon, and demons that live on the earth, demons that are under the water, demons that are under the first layer of the earth, and demons that live in the lowest layer of the earth, in hell, who are blind and deaf and are attracted to human warmth wherever they feel it, but they don't have much ability. But those above have influence over the mentality and emotions of people, trying to take over their thoughts, behaviors, and feelings, and thus torment them. You may have heard of Dante's Inferno, a poet who wrote a story about all the levels of hell, where Inferno is just the first part. When he explains the levels of hell, he relates them all to the 7 deadly sins, and describes what happens to the spirits and demons in these levels. To get out of these levels, you have to pass a series of tests. Just as there is a hierarchy of demons, there is also a hierarchy of hell, which Dante was the one who wrote about. And it's very interesting. Now you might wonder how many demons there are on Earth, and if there's a way to find out. In Christianity, they really counted and came up with different numbers, often reaching 666, saying that almost half of the angels in heaven fell and became demons. But Christian writings state that there are 4,539,422 demons that have 666 ranks, each of which has 6,066 demons, with 66 commanders. And this number is small for some. For example, in other books like the book Fertility Fide, it's calculated, and all this is done very precisely using mathematics, and they reach the number 1,133 stars 316 which is the number of demons on Earth. This was about the hierarchy of demons according to the teachings of the Catholic Church, discoveries that have been passed down from various prophets and priests, which they have decided today is part of Christianity.